It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Welcome to Sports This Week. I'm Rupha Ramani, and here is a roundup of the top stories from the week that went by. First up, of course, the Indian men's cricket squad for the Asia Cup. That was announced this week and generated mixed reactions, but everyone was furious on the exclusion of Shreyas Iyer. Why was he snubbed? The Indian government is moving fast in its quest to rise as a sporting nation. Right after the sports bill, there's come a ban on money-making online gaming portals, making Dream 11 Indian, that is the Indian cricket team's prime sponsor, go bust. What are the repercussions of this? Christiano Ronaldo may visit India after winning hearts in Hong Kong. The legendary footballer and Al Nassr are slated to play a game against Goa FC. How will this impact Indian football? And India is not only contributing to the growth of chess in the country, but also leaving its impact and imprint worldwide. The chess world was stunned by two 10-year-old prodigies with Indian origin defeating grandmasters. All of that heading your way. Now, it's difficult being Indian cricketer Shreyas Iyer today. But wait, why does this phrase seem all too familiar? Because that's exactly what many thought back in February 2024 when Shreyas Iyer was unceremoniously dumped from the central contracts by the BCCI. And cut to more than a year later, it feels like yet another sucker punch. The Asia Cup squad was announced yesterday and it has elicited strong reactions from you, fans, and of course experts alike. The one leading the list is that to the unfortunate omission of Shreyas Iyer. What did he do wrong? How could he not find a place in this squad for the Asia Cup? Now, being an Indian cricketer is tough business. There's so much scrutiny which is constant. The pressure is immense. Criticism is quick to come and praise takes time. You can go from being a superstar to a person on the run desperate to hide within moments. Shreyas Iyer will be asking himself, what more did I need to do here? Let me show you what he actually did after BCCI struck him off the contracts. He did not rebel. He did not wither away or let anything else do the talking. He performed. He punched and hard. He won the Ranji Trophy a month after his omission from the contracts. Led the Kolkata Knight Riders to a monumental, much anticipated victory in the Indian Premier League just months later. And of course played the Irani Trophy too. He took Mumbai to victory, and that was in October 2024. He took Mumbai to victory at the Saeed Mushtaq Ali tournament too, India's premier state-wise T20 tournament. He was in fact the second highest run scorer for Mumbai. The fourth in that list was part of the Champions League winning squad right after that. This was in early 2025 and he was key in India's middle order there, a key contributor. And he was not done. He switched franchises at the IPL. That was just some months back, taking Punjab Kings to a historic IPL final, just falling short. He was one of the top run getters in that tournament, number 6 on the list. That's exactly what he ended up doing for an entire year after he was given the biggest blow in his career. So what more did they want of him? They said he was not diligent enough, that he had an attitude problem. He had to play more domestic tournaments and prove himself. He did. That got him back into the contracts and into the national side. They said he was suspect to the shot stuff, the shot deliveries. He worked on it and he managed to negate that. They said he needed to step in whenever they needed him. He did that. He has been their most reliable middle order batter. When asked about his omission, this is what the chief of selectors said.
With regards to Shreyas, I mean, you'll have to tell me who we can replace here. Again, no fault of his, nor is it ours. It's just that you can pick 15 and at the moment he'll have to wait for his chance.
No fault of his, that's correct. No fault of theirs either. But where does that leave Shreyas Iyer? Doubting himself some more, and certainly not in the place he wants to be all over again. Experts are just as stumped. Indian cricket has some plans. Shubman Gill is all set to be their all-format captain. This is the grooming phase for him. So, if they could do everything possible to fit Gill into that squad, why is that intensity not being shown for other roles or positions, for other players? The future captain, yes, is important, but he or she is ultimately as good as the team. Fans in India have responded to the squad and they are disgruntled. Well, yes, it's impossible to fit all. I get it. There are many talented cricketers here in the country, and a lot of them are already packed into that squad. The middle order itself is a solid 10 on 10. But what's the message India's think tank have given the ones who missed the bus and deserve to be on it? The Jaiswals, the Iyers, and Washington Sundars. It's a tough job being an Indian cricket selector, no doubt, but it has to be. How else will the best get to represent the country on the global stage? Hard work has to pay off. That's what Shreyas Iyer would have told himself and told himself repeatedly. Not in a few weeks, not in some months probably, but in a year surely. And when that doesn't seem to be the natural progression, it can crush you. India's new online gaming bill has struck at the very heart of the sports economy. The country's cricket structure could face a massive financial blow because of this, with main sponsors of the national team now under threat. The government has banned money-based online gaming, saying it takes a severe psychological toll on users. But what about the impact it will have on a $3.8 billion industry? Because it isn't just the gamers who are losing out, not just cricket either. This move could trigger huge revenue losses and widespread job cuts across the country. Our next report breaks it down.
India's sporting industry is growing at a rapid pace. The government is pushing every sport, with the Olympics clearly in its sights. But even as it builds, the government has raised red flags in one sector that fuels modern-day sports: online gaming and gambling platforms. Parliament has cleared a new online gaming bill, banning real money-based games. The reasons: gambling addiction, money laundering, and financial frauds. At the same time, esports has been recognized as a legitimate sport in India, a step forward for gaming. But a setback for fantasy platforms that have shaped fan engagement for years. Fantasy sports had become a bridge between fans and their favorite games, a small wager, and the thrill of being connected to the sport. That's why platforms like Dream11, My 11 Circle, and Games 24/7 became household names. Players were roped in as brand ambassadors. Deals were splashing in. For a nation of 1.4 billion, obsessed with cricket and other sports, this was a goldmine. Global investors poured in billions, pushing India's online gaming market to a staggering $3.8 billion. And with money came jobs. MPL alone hosts over 400 gaming companies with more than 200,000 employees. Their future, now hanging in the balance. And the internet is already ablaze with concern, some even seeing the funny side of it. Mass layoffs are a real possibility. When the cash dries up, companies will cut down, and it won't stop at employees inside these firms. India's most loved sport is also caught in the crossfire: cricket. The Indian team's top two sponsors, Dream11 and My 11 Circle, are such platforms. Dream 11's deal with the BCCI is worth $3.58 billion till 2026. But with the new law, that deal could collapse. Meaning, India could head into the Asia Cup without a jersey sponsor. A massive blow to BCCI's coffers.
Once the act comes into force, we'll look into it, examine it, and if it's permissible, then we will take sponsorship. If it's not permissible, we'll not do anything.
And the hit doesn't stop there. My 11 Circle, the associate sponsor of the IPL, signed a deal worth $6.2 billion in 2024. That partnership too could now unravel. Yes, the government's move could curb addiction and prevent people from losing money. But many believe fans will simply find new ways. If real cash is banned, crypto might sneak in. If local platforms collapse, offshore apps will fill the gap. And when something is forced underground, the illegal market opens. But who stands to be most affected? Many, from sports fans to BCCI's balance sheet, to thousands of employees in the online gaming sector. The shockwaves will be felt everywhere, and that raises the ultimate question. Will this bill help India in the long run? Or will the country end up losing far more than it gains?
Indian football is staring at a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Cristiano Ronaldo, the biggest name in world football, could visit the country. Not for a brand campaign, not for an exhibition match, but for a full-blown competitive fixture. Al Nassr versus FC Goa in the AFC Champions League 2. And the question is, could this then be the spark Indian football has been waiting for? For months, Indian football has been struggling, apart from the women, of course, who've qualified for the AFC, both junior and senior editions of the Asia Cups. The men's team has been underwhelming. Governance has been chaotic, and the future of the Indian Super League hangs in the balance. The AIFF is locked in a bitter fight with the league organisers. Clubs have suspended operations, salaries are frozen. Bengaluru FC and Chennai FC starting the process of taking a step back here. And now, 11 ISL clubs have threatened to shut down completely. This is as close to a collapse as it can get. But in the middle of this mess comes a lifeline. Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr, drawn in the same group as FC Goa. If Cr7 sets foot on Indian soil for a competitive match, the entire nation will go berserk.
This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime moment for FC Goa. It's a unique opportunity to bring global attention to Indian football, giving the game the spotlight it has long needed.
And he's right, because if there's one thing India guarantees, it's the craze for this sport. Just look at the Kolkata derby. Mohun Bagan faced East Bengal in the Durand Cup quarterfinals. Tempers flared, punches flew, drama everywhere, and a sold-out attendance. The match lived up to all expectations. Now, I'm not saying fighting means a good show. It just tells you the passion teams have for the sport and what an iconic rivalry represents here in the country. We have the appetite, we have the passion. What's missing is governance. So imagine Ronaldo walking out in Goa. The financial boost will matter. The sponsorship rush will be key, but more importantly, this is a chance to force global attention onto Indian football.
While the financial boost is important, the bigger picture is the opportunity this creates for long-term growth. The global attention, sponsorship interest, and fan engagement from a moment like this help strengthen the club's foundations, allowing us to invest in the future.
Now, once that spotlight is here, AIFF can't hide anymore. And it's not just Ronaldo. Reports even suggest Lionel Messi could come to India later this year. An exhibition cricket match at the Wankhede Stadium, which is in the Indian city of Mumbai. If all goes to plan, Messi might trade his football studs for cricket spikes. That's a fan event. Ronaldo playing a competitive match. Now, that will be manic. For too long, Indian football has been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Poor planning, poor results, poor execution and leadership. And a league in hot mess. Now, for the first time in years, it has a chance to be in the spotlight for the right reasons. Could this then be the wake-up call Indian football desperately needs? Despite the struggles of ISL, if a club can be pitted in the same group as Ronaldo's team, it just shows the merit Indian football still has. It's a test for the AIFF, for the clubs, and for the entire system. Because when the world's biggest footballer comes to play, the world will be watching. The question is, will Indian football remain a circus of mismanagement, or will it grab this chance to prove it belongs on the global stage? The passion is undeniable, the fans unstoppable here. It's time for the game in India to finally match that fire. India's chess revolution has crossed every border. It's no longer just Indian players rewriting records on the board. Now prodigies of Indian origin are carrying the flame of this legacy across the globe. In a stunning twist, two 10-year-olds have etched their names in chess history. Separated by the Atlantic, young talents in America and Britain outclassed their senior opponents to script unforgettable wins. It's proof that India isn't just fueling the growth of the sport at home, but also shaping the future of global chess.
The world of chess never stops surprising us. Time and again, the sport has witnessed young minds conquering seasoned veterans. Every such moment proves one simple truth: age is never a barrier when greatness is calling. And in August 2025, that truth was underlined not once but twice. Two 10-year-old girls across different continents left the chess world stunned. Grandmasters were humbled in both America and Britain. The common link? Their Indian roots. Bodhana Shivanandan. At just 10 years, 5 months and 3 days, she achieved the unthinkable, defeating Grandmaster Peter Wells, a man 6 times her age, in the final round of the British Chess Championships in Liverpool. With this victory, she not only became the youngest international master, but also the youngest ever to defeat a grandmaster, breaking a record that had stood for 11 years. And what's even more fascinating, she discovered chess by accident.
I'm an engineering graduate, as is my wife, but I'm not good at chess. I tried a couple of league games, but I was very poor.
Bodhana's journey began during the pandemic. A family friend, before leaving for India, left behind a bag with a chessboard inside. And that single spark lit a fire. Since then, the British prodigy hasn't looked back. Her biggest strength? Her fearless mindset. But while Bodhana was weaving her magic in Britain, across the Atlantic, K.R. Jha was scripting her own fairy tale in Ohio. Born to Indian immigrant parents, K.R. outwitted Grandmaster Brian Smith in the final round of the Joe Yoon Memorial Tournament. 4 months older than Bodhana, she now holds the title of the youngest American girl ever to defeat a Grandmaster.
She picked up some of the rules when she saw me playing online and got intrigued by how the pieces moved. She sat next to me every day and I taught her all the other rules.
And playing chess isn't her only talent. K.R. is also a top-ranked tennis player and a black belt in Taekwondo. At just 10, she's already a multi-skilled star in the making. Like the chess pieces on the board, she has different sports to bank on. Back home, India continues to produce grandmasters at a record pace. But the story of Bodhana and K.R. proves something bigger, that India's chess revolution has gone global. Whether it's in Chennai, London or Ohio, the new faces of chess are rewriting the future. These two 10-year-olds show that chess is no longer just about one country or one champion. It's about a movement, a wave led by Indian minds inspiring the world. If the present belongs to India's chess giants like Pragnananda, Gukesh and Divya, then the future surely belongs to kids like Bodhana and K.R. the youngest torchbearers of chess, and their stories are just beginning.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj ho.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Fiskali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.